I've decided to start doing a video diary of my garden and house plants. I've got an iPhone, so I don't really want to clog up the memory, what little there is. So I thought putting it on YouTube as a reminder of when things bloom, when it snows. It's the 1st of March today, which I think is meant to be spring. But as you can see, the garden's covered in snow, so we won't be going out there today. But as you can see, I've got a little patio area, lots of wood. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Then we've got a barbecue my son built. This along here is a vegetable bed, and last year I planted it all up, and then life took a different turn and I didn't get to harvest the crop. So we've got potatoes at the end, strawberries here, beans. I think there's some chard still going strong, and there's lots of little plants along here that seem to be doing really well, but I've no idea what they are, hence the video diary. Also, we've got a dog kennel here, we've got a pond, and my son's just built me a little wall, and I'm going to have a flower bed at the end. But when the snow goes, I'll take you outside there. And my lovely new shed that my son built for me recently. So my first house plant, and I'll tell you, I am a novice and I don't do very well with any kind of planting. So if you've got any advice for me, if anybody does watch this video, please let me know. This is my giant orchid. I think I got this from the gardening club on, I think it's Crew Hill in Edmonton. Really good, massive, very cheap garden centre. This, I can't remember, I think this was £5. I water it once a week, but I don't know if it's because I've had the heating on a lot. The leaves seem to really dried out, so I'll give that a water later. I used to drop all of the pots in, I used to fill them all up, take them into the kitchen, fill them all up with water, let them soak for a little while, take them out, drain the water off. But as I've got a little bit of a hoarding problem, I've got quite a few orchids and plants now, so it takes too long. So I have a water bottle and I just squirt a little bit of water in. This is the first orchid that I've had. Oh, the flowers were beautiful, but they've started to wilt now. This is a little white and pink phalaenopsis. This is the first plant that I've had that's actually bloomed while I've owned it. It was in bloom when I bought it summertime last year. Had these great big long spikes. As you can see, the canes are still here that it was attached to. I've just clipped it, if you can see there. I've just clipped it to the old stalks because they're still green. Nothing seems to have grown on there. But we do seem to have another little flower bud there. So we'll see what happens here. These aren't ready to drop off yet. But as I said, I'll give it another water later. And hopefully, I'm hoping this little thing will turn into a flower bud. Sorry, my bad camera skills. I will point out I've never done anything like this before, and I've not edited anything as well, but I'm hoping it's going to be a nice new creative hobby. So this is the second place I keep plants in the house. This room's unheated as it's a guest room, and I think some flowers, some plants will need a cold spell. So I've heard, like I said, I'm terrible at this. So this is another orchid. I'm not quite sure the name. And this has gone really squidgy. This is a pseudobulb. We've got one here that's okay, but I'm not sure why this has happened. And you see another phalaenopsis. Leaves all crinkly. This has been like this for a while. I've been trying. I may actually try and put, because I got another one downstairs like this as well. Maybe I might just try and put it in a glass of water. Just put the roots in. I've seen some people keep them in water on YouTube. So maybe. We've got another type of orchid here, and you can't really see, but again, this is starting to, it's gone very crinkly, and it is a little squishy, and I lost another one like this recently for the same sort of reason, so I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. I don't know, a little clover growing in there or something. No 4 leaves, I'm afraid. Okay, so we've got another, oh sorry, finger over the lens there. We've got another phalaenopsis here. This seems to be okay. This leaf has come through. It is a lot smaller than the other leaf, so, and it's kind of come out of its pot a little bit, so I may need to repot it before I do another video, and I'm hoping that me filming it will give me a little push to try and do a little bit better if I feel that somebody possibly may be watching out there. We've got a little money plant. This leaf here hasn't actually taken. I'm just going to leave it in there for now. These are bits that have fallen off a bigger plant that I have. It's very slow growing, but you know, it's quite cute. It's tiny. We've got here amaryllis, I think it is. Yeah. And I'm having a lot of trouble getting the... Oh, that didn't sound good. I have got to be more delicate. I'm having a lot of trouble getting these to bloom again. So I've had some for numerous years and they're just not blooming. I put one in the garden and a snail had eaten all of the leaves. But I found the snail the other day. And I don't want to say what I did to the snail, but it's in the garden next door now anyway. But this is my Christmas cactus. This did actually, it's been up here for a while and it did actually have a load of buds and started to flower. So I took it downstairs, put it in the nice warm front room and all the buds dropped off. So I'm not sure what I've done wrong there. And this is not doing well. I bought this last year from B&Q. It flowered, I think it's like a miracle plant or something it's called. Had lovely orangey yellow flowers, flowered really nicely. Then it died all the way back. Then this shoot has sprung up and now it seems to be dying again. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. But this is kind of like my windowsill of plants I don't want company to see. So if you got any tips for me, please let me know. If not, I'm just going to struggle on. So I've switched to filming on my iPad because my iPhone's just saying the storage is full up. This is about 50% of the storage is other. If anybody knows what that is, do let me know and how I can free it up. This is a garden downstairs. You can see it's just a mess out there. Took some decorating stuff out the shed a couple of days ago, left it on the floor, and it snowed now. So I'm hoping doing some videos will be an incentive for me to pretty it up. There's a compost bin which is actually full at the moment. This window is windowsills. I like to keep a lot of plants here. Sorry. Because I live in South London and I feel it's a bit of a deterrent. Also I have the blinds here which are always closed because as you can see we're quite overlooked here. So anyway, I've got a amaryllis here and a second one. Neither one has flowered apart from the first time when I first bought it. I've put some little pellets, as you can see on there. They're slow release plant food. I think I bought that from the pound shop and that's been on there about a year and it's still not disappearing, so it doesn't seem to have done very good anyway. This one always has leaves on it. I have cut the leaves off. Then I've put it in a dark room and not watered it for like months to give it a rest winter period. Nothing's happened. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing there. I mean, the leaves are lovely, but I would love some of the amazing big blooms. I've got another orchid here, which is doing okay. Again, we've got a small leaf, which I believe happens when an orchid is stressed. But it's got a flower spike on there. You can't really see, but when it gets to about here, it starts to go brown. It has flowered previously when I bought it, but I haven't cut it off. I might trim that little bit. But he's just sitting there doing his own thing. We've got aloe vera plant, which is doing okay. This is another type of orchid, I believe. I can't remember the name. I actually took a teeny tiny piece of this from when it was small. It was like this sort of size from a plant when I used to work in an office. This one seems like it's gone now. It's very crispy, but this one is doing quite well. So, oh, and actually if I can show you, it has a, is that going to focus? There's a keiki there. Let me see if I can focus it a bit more. If you can, oh, my camera skills are not the best. I apologise for that. But yeah, this one at the top here is actually another plant growing, which I suppose is a good thing. It's got some roots coming out, so at least this one's doing well. This poor thing in the corner is Pete, and if I give you now, I think he's gone. Pete used to be a massive plant, and he was in a really big pot. If I can just show you quickly, in this massive pot here, anything I put in this pot dies. This plant, you can see, I'm not sure what kind of plant that is. my granddaughter, who's one, took to, every time she'd come around she'd pull it out of the earth, and it's, you know, it's not doing well now at all. I think I may need to get rid of that. Sorry, it's an awkward angle, but I may need to put the soil in there because it's not doing well. This I think is it's called a flamingo plant or something, and oh, sorry, it's my phone going off. This is, you know, it's got a few dead leaves on it and stuff. Not sure what's going on there, but I put it down to it because it's being cold. It looks like a tropical plant. We have another orchid. This one seems to be doing okay. We've got a pseudobulb there, and looks like some new growth here. So not all plants hate me. Little teeny tiny orchid here. This one I find is difficult to stop it being so crinkly because it's in a rather small pot. But all my plants I do regular. I water once a week. I often forget, but I try. I have a reminder on my phone now. Pretty little cactus. I've had that quite a while. It just seems to do exactly the same thing all the time. This is a disaster. I repotted in this kind of I don't know what they're called, to be honest. They're little beads to see if it would work better than the wood chips. This is gone now. This one here is very crinkly, as the one I said about upstairs. I may, although actually this one is getting better. It's doing a little bit. It's not as crinkly as it was, so I might leave that in there. This one was upstairs for a little while. It's got some bendy leaves, but it was like that when I bought it. And it's got quite pretty purple colour on it, but has developed a flower spike in the upstairs cold bedroom. So I brought it downstairs this week. Hopefully it will do well. And we have another orchid, which no flower spike, no anything, but it's producing new roots and stuff, so it's going okay. So that's kind of it for my plants. Sorry, I promise I'll try and get better with the camera work. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I didn't go on too much. Thank you for watching. Bye.